Hello, Halfmilesniper here, and we are back on the range today. There is a qualification going on in the next bay over, CCW qualification, so it may get a little bit loud. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Compliments of viewer Eric G. Give me a few more minutes to get things set up. I'll bring y'all right back and show you what we're going to be doing. So y'all sit back, kick your feet up, enjoy the ride. Alrighty, y'all. So, let me show you what we got here. Eric G sent us some interesting bullets. Let me zoom in on them. What he sent me was a 90 grain Lehigh Extreme Penetrator, a 75 grain, looks like a brass hollow point. It's split in 3 places. It should open up pretty nice. A 68 grain brass hollow point with a really big cavity. A 57 grain, it says it's an interceptor. It looks like it may be like a Syntec type bullet or a frangible type bullet. I don't know. It does not look like typical bullet construction. And then we have a 68 grain Lehigh Penetrator. So, we got our gel block. We got a target, and we got our chronograph. So we're going to put a few rounds of each over the chronograph. We're going to shoot a few of each for a group, and then we're going to try to catch one of each in the gel block and see how it looks. Give me a few more minutes to get things set up, and I will bring you right back. One of the things I didn't say was that all of these are loaded to the same, with the same charge, 4.5 grains of HP 38. Let me double check my notes. I stand corrected. My notes say that the 90 grain bullet the 90 grain bullets are loaded with 4.5 grains. The lighter bullets are loaded with 5 grains of HP 38. Our test gun this morning is going to be a Glock 42. And according to the load data, 4.5 grains of HP 38 should be giving me 1,275 feet per second. This will be the 90 grain Lehigh. I got 1203.
1,216.
1216.
1,215.
1215. And the nice lady in the box tells us that our 3-shot average is 1,211 feet per second. 1,211 feet per second with a 380. That's cooking. Let me reset the chrono. Next up will be the 75 grain brass. It's got 3 splits in it. The one thing I didn't check, I checked them to make sure they fit the chamber, but I never checked to make sure they fit the magazine. And I can only get 2 rounds in the magazine, so I have to combat load the 3rd round. But the 75 grain brass hollow point should be loaded with 4.5 grains of HP 38. Here we go. $11.54. 1175. 1176. 1176. So the average we get for that, 3-shot average was 1168. 1168 with a 75 grain hollow point. Be interesting to see what they do in the gel. Reset the chrono, we'll do the next one. Next up, we've got these 68 grain brass hollow points with a gigantic hollow point, very much like the giant hollow point we shot in the 350 Legend. And these are also not working in the magazine, so I'm going to have to hand load them one at a time. Okay, this will be that 68 grain brass hollow point. 4.5 grains of HP 38. 1265. $12.29. $12.96. Those are some smoking rounds for 380 auto, but that 3-shot average gave us 1263 feet per second with a 68 grain brass hollow point. I'll reset the chrono and we'll check the next one. And these here are the 57 grain interceptors. Like I said, they look like they're sintered or frangible or something like the Syntec bullet, like a 3-bladed Phillips head screwdriver. These are also loaded with 4.5 grains of HP 38. These fit the magazine just fine. Here we go. (14.1 feet per second). $13.70. $14.17. That's going to give us an average north of 1400. Well, maybe not. 3-shot average is 1396. That's really smoking for a 380. Let me reset the chrono and we'll test that last 68 grain Lehigh Penetrator. Alrighty, y'all. So this will be the 68 grain Lehigh Penetrator. Looks like a Phillips head screwdriver. It will also be loaded with 4.5 grains of HP 38, and based off the other two that we're running 13 to 1400, I'm guessing this will be about 1350. Although the program calculates that this should be 1275. We'll see. $13.01. $12.89. $12.63. Maybe the program was right. Our 3-shot average with the 68 grain Lehighs and 4.5 grains HP 38 was 1284. Less than I guessed, more than the program estimated. Cool. Alrighty, y'all. Well, we're going to start with the 90 grain Lehighs. We're going to shoot on the upper left target, and just so you see, I am, in fact, working from the 15-yard line. We ain't working from the hero line. So this will be a 90 grain Lehigh, top left. Well, pardon me, I have to go restaple my targets. It's a little bit windy today. Okay, targets restapled, continuing with the 90 grain Lehigh, upper left. I shanked that third shot, but they seem to be hitting true to the sights. Let me reload and we'll do the next one. Okay, so these are going to be the 75 grain brass hollow points, which, as we recall from the chrono test, don't want to feed out of the magazine. So I got to combat load the last shot. We're going to shoot these on the top right target. I got to get one more. Top right. Well, outside of not feeding out of the magazine, which just means I need to seat the bullet deeper, those seem to be shooting okay. Let me get set up for the next one. And this will be the 68 grain giant hollow point, which I'm going to have to single feed because they don't want to run out of the magazine. We're going to shoot these off on the centered dot. I don't know if that first one was me or the round. I'm going to guess it's the rounds. Those big hollow points don't shoot that well. Let me get the next round, which will be the 57. Alrighty, this is going to be that 57 grain interceptor, and we're going to shoot that bottom left. I didn't like that one. Yeah, 57 grain interceptor. Well, either. Okay, there's our 68 grain Lehigh with like a P2 Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to shoot this bottom right. had us a failure to feed here. Okay. Boy, I jerked that one. Combination of jerking the second shot and probably that bullet got pushed in a little deeper. I should have checked it, but it didn't. But there we go. We got them on paper. So we're going to try to put all 5 bullets in the block. Hopefully it holds up. We're going to start with the 90 grain Lehigh. Grain Lehigh. Grain Lehigh went all the way through. This would be the 75 grain brass hollow point. We'll bring you up for this one. So here's where the 90 grain Lehigh hit and came out here. The 75 grain brass hit here, punched a hole, but it's split. One branch came out the top, one branch came out the side, and the third branch is caught in there. I don't know where the main body of the slug is. Interesting. Now we'll do the 68 grain hollow point. And that 68 grain hollow point, which as I recall was running just about 1,400 feet per second, blew all the way through the block. We hit there. We tracked all the way through here. I don't see some disruption, see some wound cavity, but it never really opened up. And it popped right out there. At almost 1,400 feet per second, I expected that thing to open instantly. And now we got the interceptor. 57 grain interceptor. 57 grain interceptor. Passed all the way through as well. Okay, last shot, 68 grain Lehigh. Let's go take a look. .57 grain interceptor hit here, 68 grain Lehigh hit there. And 68 grain Lehigh popped out back here. but they've got to be going slow. Well, there's one of the pedals from the brass round. So yeah, it's found that one pedal, this pedal of brass round, laying here on the ground, that far from the bucket. I mean the block. I highly doubt I'm gonna find any bullet laying on the ground, but we'll check. Nope. But there's the piece we found laying on the ground. Let me cut that piece out of the block. Alrighty, well, I cut the piece out of the block. We got our two pieces of the brass. If I can seat them a little bit deeper, maybe they will run in my magazine. What I suspect is the part of the pedal I found on the ground popped out here, bounced off the baffle there, and straight down where I found it there. The third piece, I don't know where it went. But, oh my stars. That is some hot 380 ammo. Do a little bit more work on that and get that where they all run well. It'd be pretty cool. Let's go take a quick look at the target. Alrighty, so the 90 grain Lehigh was shooting true to the sights except when I jerked the trigger. The 75 grain brass, that's the one that's split into three, shoots to the sights, a little bit left, but shot pretty good. The 68 grain brass giant hollow points, they're kind of all over. They're running 1,400 feet per second, dang near. The 57 grain interceptors, kind of big group and shading left. The 68 grain Lehigh Penetrators shot well, except when I jerked the trigger. It was either me jerking the trigger or that slight failure to feed me, I pushed the bullet in. But interesting stuff. Don't see that kind of speed out of 380 auto usually. Pretty cool. Hope y'all enjoyed this. I enjoyed shooting it. I enjoyed making that ammo. Thank you, Eric G, for the projectiles. We're going to try to make some more. We'll try to use those projectiles in the 9mm next. See what we can do there. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. As always, remember, carry everywhere you can. Stay strapped or get clapped. So they say. If you need a CCW, get one. If you're in a constitutional carry state, get a CCW anyways. You may travel. And what I didn't tell y'all at the beginning, that Glock 42, that's generally my EDC gun. That's in my waistband 98% of the time when I'm in warmer weather. When it's colder weather, quite often I'll wear a bigger gun. But small gun's better than no gun. So with all that being said, y'all stay safe, keep shooting. We'll catch you next time. It's Halfmilesniper. Thanks.
Send it. Hit.